And regardless of who wins, it's exciting. This is the furthest both of these players have gone, period, in ESL Open Cup Asia. Patience and Zoun. We're going to have a new champion today. And who's it going to be again? We were talking a lot about Zoun, but Patience, like, he's also a madman. He is on that y-axis.
I almost want to say that Patience is more mysterious than Haas in SOS.
Oh. Okay. Explain.
Because of Patience, you can't often just say... Because of Patience, you know, even when he fumbles and he's, like, throwing down... Even when he panics, you can never really be sure that he's panicked, like, throwing down buildings or units, right? Like, with Haas or SOS, when the tides have turned and they're not, you know, in such a stable position, you can really tell that why are they doing all of this? It's because they know it's because they know that's your Hail Marys, because you're, you know, a little nervous, a little panicked. With Patience, just like his name suggests, he doesn't panic.
Exactly. It's one of those things where Patience, like, you can't have fear if you don't know you need to be afraid. It's one of those things, like, ignorance is bliss, right? Like, he has no fear, maybe not for the best reasons, but because of that, he can make some interesting decisions.
Exactly. What was it? What was that one episode of that one cartoon where the kid, like, got rid of his fear, and because of that became, like, a spy or something, but then all of a sudden got the fear back right in the middle of the bad thing?
Yeah, I got no idea what you're on about.
I mean, that was such a descriptive, that's such a specific description. I'm a little surprised. I think I'd have to work on my descriptive narrative there. All right. What was the last thing I wanted to say? It'll come back to me. We are now here on the first map of our finals. It is going to be a best of 5, and we're going to be starting off on Eternal Empire, Ile. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map. We have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing Alpha X. Little bit of an underdog here, depending on how you look at it, but arguably the best PvP player in the world, I would say. You know, definitely, okay, maybe not definitely, but arguably the best in Korea. And, you know, I can't really think of, you know, another Protoss player who is from, like, EU or NA. Actually from NA. Look, that's a discussion for another time. We have Zoun. And he's going to give his opponent a pound.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE. If there are any Korean speakers, Hangul speakers in the chat, then do let us know. Hopefully Maddox will give us a bit of a rundown on what's been going on here. As I did see GSL was mentioned, I'm not too sure what was the discussion about, but spawning in here in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Korean Zerg player representing Team LP. It is Patience.
I appreciate the translation, Inu.
Thank you so much, Inu. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Does he know that he's typing, but the players can't see what he's typing?
And he's probably aware he's an observer chat. I have a feeling that he's just rubbing in our faces there.
It's like, oh, look at me. I also got, like, a Korean keyboard. Oh, okay.
I can read Hangul and speak Korean, and I can also write it out with my keyboard. You get it, Inu.
No, you can rub it in. But
like, I know it's a good thing, but, like, you know,
we do have this PvP getting underway. Already a little bit of a difference where Zoun, he opts for the double Stalker opener. Meanwhile, Patience a little bit more aggressive, going for the double Adept opener. And oh, we got some Stargate.
We do, in fact, have some Stargates coming out here from Zoun. Which, just going off of the previous series, it seems like Patience not quite too keen on those Stargate openings. You know, much more a fan of Robos, which, you know, as you know, in PvP, one or the other. You may transition later on, but in your opening, one or the other.
Exactly, as we do see this
And
probe here for Patience, and he may throw down a pylon, as again he hasn't really gone for any tech, he's still missing it, so he could end up proxying it here over in the map. And I was just waiting to see, like, did we think a Voider was going to come out, but first we have Le Oracle.
And got Patience answer that for us. Well, we do have an Oracle, but how many Oracles is Zoun going to get is question. Is he going to follow us up with a Void Ray? Is he going to go straight into a Fleet Beacon? As we've seen many players from Latin America as well as ANZ do.
Yeah, honestly, in a PvP, we rarely see that. It's more of a PvC sort of thing. But it's possible, like you could go Fleet Beacon into something more like one of those upgrades for the Skytoss army, not necessarily going into carriers or anything like that. It is it is quite possible. As Zoun, he is being a little bit aggressive here. There's no shield battery actually for Patience.
Yeah, really relying a lot on these force fields, on the positioning of his army there. As an Oracle, really, and now you can kind of see why a lot of Protoss players, they like to have at least one Oracle near the mineral line.
Exactly, and that was actually really nicely done. I don't know if you saw, but he actually focused down one of the sentries.
Oh, that he did, and it's still continuing to get more and more probe damage done.
Yeah, 5 probes taken out, and it actually gets away with its life as well to live another day. And Zoun, so far, pretty decent damage. 5 workers, a sentry, and then adept as well.
That's pretty nice, mate.
And at the same time, there was this adept for Patience, but it didn't really manage to get much done. There was already a stalker here defensively for Zoun. He dives in again.
And dives out of again. Keeps that Oracle alive. Gonna be able to have some stasis wards available for him later on.
Oh my god.
Maybe revelations or reveals.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe a drone went down, but if you look at the units lost tab, Zoun has literally lost nothing. He's lost nothing this game.
Literally nothing.
My
Did
god.
cancel a pylon, but that's not really, that doesn't really count.
Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ, we were talking about Zoun's PvP, but so far this game, he's just been doing everything right. Yeah.
Absolute master of the matchup right now. Even more probes are going down, Light. One Oracle goes down, but 5 more probes?
Jesus. Potentially.
That's 13 in total this game. Patience should be right now on, assuming he didn't lose those, 60 workers.
That's GG.
That's GG. Okay, maybe not quite GG. If he can, scrounge up an army and all in, and if Zoun decides to go a little more greedy, then he'll be kind of caught with his pants down. But that's devastating, is what that is.
It is devastating. And behind this Zoun, Blink just finished up, so he will have that a little bit faster. Meanwhile, though, Patience, he has Blink on the way and +1 a little bit faster, so his army will be a little bit stronger. In saying that, though, he has so few stalkers in comparison.
He really, really does. And there is this little moment of opportunity where Zoun, he can try to take advantage of that Blink, kite in, kite away. This Oracle, it knows its function, it realizes its job, and it will not stop.
Exactly, and here come the stalkers for Zoun. He has to be careful though, because there is no reinforcement point, there's no warp prism, there's no pylon with gateways or anything. So Zoun, this is all he has right now. He has to be so careful not to be caught out in the middle of the map, and he is forced away. But he does have a 3rd base on the way. He's got so many more workers. What's important is that because he hasn't had to rebuild any workers, he's been able to spend his money in other places instead.
Oh, absolutely. And we do see that now one of those places are in a lot of gateways as well as charge. So yeah, I have a feeling that Zoun, he's going to search this up to a more standard charge and immortal build. That was arguably a questionable blink. Or not blink, sorry, force field, but considering Zoun can blink up into the main, he's not exactly locked out.
Yeah, and Patience is... Yeah, he's actually doing a lot with this. Like, with these stalkers, he was able to get into the main base, blink down here into the 3rd base as well.
He's actually turned the tables. Zoun now going to be the one lagging in terms of workers. Really nicely done.
Yeah, that's one of those things. No fear of Patience. He just waddled right into the main base. He just walked his way in. There was no war prism or anything. Yeah, he just walked in. Oh, God.
He didn't even blink up onto the main. He just walked up the ramp. like, hey, door's open. Anyone home?
And that's one of the things, right? Patience, no fear whatsoever. He thought he owned the place, realized he didn't, lost a bunch of stalkers, but he did a lot of damage on the way out.
Exactly. No fear.
Oh my god. The other thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is that there it is. We do have a robo on the way, or done, for Zoun, but he really does need a War Prism. He needs something to reinforce this army so he can just continue to apply pressure across the map. Oh, never mind. There it is. It's already here. It's already waiting for the main army, and we'll see how much Zoun can get done here.
Yeah, and I mean, the potential is definitely there. There's a very high potential for of what Zoun can really get done here, but the question... But yeah, potential is different from practice.
Exactly. Like what Patience has going for him is that he's going to be ahead in upgrades. +2 attack is on the way, and he does have an immortal as well. Plus shield batteries defensively. So we'll see. This is going to be a tough ask for Zoun. It's going to be a tough position to break. We'll see if he even decides to break it, as he is kind of just posturing out here, denying a potential 4th base. Behind this, both players going for Dark Shrines.
Well, as the saying goes, we're behind Dark Shrine, but if both players are going Dark Shrine, how do you tell who's behind?
Exactly, and both players even going for Disruptors as well. Blink, Stalkers, and Disruptor play coming out here, and because of that defensive position, Zoun, he realizes, he identifies that he can't break this. Like, there's too much here. He backs off, and we're just gonna get into a later game.
Yeah, which, as time goes on, I'm honestly favoring Patience more and more here.
Yeah, I mean, he does have, you know, a slightly worker lead. To be fair, because of that positioning, like, Zoun denied a 4th base for some time, so he is going to have a faster Nexus. But Patience, like, he's been on point with his upgrades.
Absolutely. Getting his +3 now. Zoun only now grabbing +2. Patience, he's still got... He may be a little bit behind the economy, but he still has more than enough to build up a pretty terrifying force, all things considered.
Yeah. Definitely.
Especially if they're +3.
Oh my god, and speaking of upgrades, both players actually going for DT Blink.
Right.
Oh boy.
Okay.
This is a PvP.
This is a PvP. Is this an NA game?
This is just PvP in general. Regardless of the region, we're going to be getting into some Clown Fiesta. We're going to have some DTs with Blink, as well as Blink Stalkers, Disruptors all over the place. It's going to be such a micro-intensive battle because everything has an activated ability. We'll see who has the better control here. Again, Patience, he's the player with more experience. Zoun, the up-and-comer, looking to try and make a name for himself here.
These artists are going to miss one another, aren't they?
Oh, he does get spotted.
Yeah, Zoun knows that this army is coming along.
He's not turning around. He's not turning around.
He's going for the base trade, like, he is going for the base trade. And the funny thing is, both players have recall available to them. Not quite enough Stalkers to... No! Just enough Stalkers, actually, to deal with that Warp Prism. But a couple of DTs did manage to make it out. Once again, Patience just walking up this ramp. No fear.
No fear whatsoever. And it was huge that that Warp Prism got picked off. That means no more reinforcements here on the outside of the map for Zoun.
DTs versus DTs, like.
We have DTs versus DTs. We got cannons in the bases.
When was the last time you saw that happen?
Oh my god. And there are DTs defensively as well. And there's no Warp Prism. There's no Observer. There's no detection for Patience. He's forced back. And recall is always available if Zoun ever wants it, and he has an observer.
He does have an observer here. He is just so much more favored right now. Like,
yeah,
it is not even funny.
Like, look at the worker count, and he snipes the Dark Shrine as well.
All right, but here is the recall coming out from Patience. So Zoun, he's gonna have to make use of his recall pretty soon. Before Patience pounces on this army.
If he recalls, he's gonna lose everything. The disruption goes in.
Reputation over! Takes out so much!
Exactly.
Look at that army supply plummet for Zoun.
Oh, that's what I was worried about. If he at any moment recalled, there were disruptors ready for their shots, and they took it. They immediately killed everything for Zoun, and now we're in this weird situation. Patience, he's so far down in the economy, but Zoun, he's down in the army. He lost so much there, and we'll see if he can hold here. As Patience, he's pushing out towards that 4th base.
Yeah, this is going to be such a tough ask for Zoun. Only now getting his +3, Patience having a much better upgrade lead. But on the plus side, you know, there's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here for Zoun. If he's able to hold this, then he should be able to, just completely turn this game around. He'll know that he'll be fine, more than fine.
Oh yeah, and it's so difficult to push into an army when there are disruptor shots available, but that was it. That was the last disruptor shot. He blinks in.
That was the last disruptor shot. The battery overcharge also finishing up there. Patience, really living up to his name. Another Nova lands for Patience. And this is looking like the beginning of the end. These Zealots trying to get something done. These DTs trying to sneak in. But there is an observer right now for Patience, and man, it's a little bit of a shame. I think Zoun was doing so well this game, but it only takes one Nova sometimes.
Exactly. To be fair, Patience, he's down to just pure Blink Stalkers, and these Zealots are doing a good job buffering for the Stalkers of Zoun. Zoun, he is down an upgrade, only +2, +3s on the way. He has Disruptors on the way as well. With good enough shots, he may be able to hold on here.
But it's a big May.
Yeah, exactly. As the Stalkers for Patience continue to come on in, and with more Warpins and these defensive shield batteries, like Zoun, he's trying. Like again, it's just Stalkers for Patience. Oh,
yeah,
but there's too many.
I think the unfortunate thing for Zoun right now is that the best thing these shield batteries are doing is buying time. All they're really doing right now is, being a target for Patience to snipe. And Zoun, he doesn't really have the opportunity to do much of that time that he buys. There we go. GG's call. Patience takes game number 1.
GG. Patience takes the first game after Zoun looked so good in the early game.
That was a PvP.
That was a PvP.
I mean, this is one of those weird middle grounds between that Clown Fiesta and a fairly standard macro game. I feel like this was. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, Light.
We were edging right there on where we were.
We were edging right there. There was somebody we were gonna talk about, but I'm gonna try not to mention.
Oh god.
If we think of him.
I mean, that was really well done from both players. Honestly, like that recall in the end, like Zoun was in such a good position during that base trade, forcing Patience back home. But yeah, that disruptor, like even Chad is catching up on it. Like, oof, oh boy.
It is the duality of the disruptor. They're either dead supply or they win you the game.
Exactly. Yeah, they are the great equalizer, whether they work for one player or the other.
Or potentially both sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you can't know for your own units.
Ugh. Or
can you? Actually, now that I think about it. No, you can't know your own units, if I'm remembering right. Alrighty then. Speaking of equalizers, we are now on Everdream LE Italy Edle. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map. The red Protoss player coming up from the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing Alpha X on that Wolfram Alpha X axis. Arguably that Z axis as well. He is the player who's going to take his opponent to Pound Town. He is Zoun.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team LP. He is Patience.
And I mean, what a game number 1. That was, I feel like that just skirted the fine line between just complete Clown Fiesta and the other end of the spectrum of just, really passive. Well, okay, to be fair, that game wasn't really passive at any point.
Yeah, it was just a solid PvP.
That it was. It was like a middle ground between stats and
Trap? SS? SOS?
I guess SOS.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to say Zest, but SS would be more accurate in that sound.
Yeah.
I feel like that previous game sort of showed us that fine line.
I think what's important about the previous game is that really, like, both players were looking good. Like Zoun, he had so many opportunities. It's just the disruptors in the end, right? So Patience showing again, once again, no fear whatsoever, like with the decisive plays. And really, it just goes to show that the game itself could have gone either way. Like either one of these players could have won, and like that just makes the finals a little more exciting.
Yeah, it definitely does. And so that's what you want out of your finals, isn't it? You know, way too often you see some very hyped semifinals, and when you go into the actual finals match, it actually becomes pretty one-sided. But yeah, so far and keep in mind we're only going off of game number 1. So far, it's been pretty evenly matched, pretty hype. It really does feel like either one of these players could win their first ever ESL Open Cup Asia championships.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, like regardless, these players, they've made the deepest run they've ever made before. They're going to be walking away with some money regardless, as top 4 do get paid out. So yeah, like already, like these players, they've done so well for themselves. We'll see which one of these guys can close it out, as we do have a couple of differences here. We do have this Twilight Council opening for Zoun, going for a very fast blink, as opposed to Patience, who instead goes for that Robo.
Yeah, and Zoun actually being very active on the map right now. He's sniffing this out. Oh wait, no, actually, no, it's the other way around. I might be lying. Actually, no.
Yeah, Zoun, he's being very aggressive with his stalkers. Blink is still a ways away, but he's looking to contain and maybe even catch another stalker for Patience. And oh, never mind though, he does have quite a number of reinforcements here at home. Oof.
Yeah, that he does. Even gets a bit of a flank, securing one more stalker kill. And yeah, when we're talking about these early game stalker battles, it's ridiculous how much of a difference just having one more stalker can make.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, actually forces a recall. Interesting.
All right.
I don't know what he was too afraid of. Maybe he was afraid he was pulled out of position. Again, all of that is because yeah, like he hasn't scouted the Twilight Council. So if it was a Stargate opening, then he wouldn't have had anything at home for like an Oracle or something along those lines. So it's possible that he just was feeling a little bit too vulnerable out there.
Yeah, Patience, really taking every consideration to mind there. Realizing, oh, this might be part of Zoun's bait. He's dragging me out of position. What is he gonna do in my main base? I don't know, but I need to defend. And now he doesn't need to defend, so as now he realizes, there's not going to be much thrown at him, so he's looking to be the aggressor.
I love the portrayal of Patience being like the crazy madman who is like, oh my god, something's coming into the main, I know it, and then he recalls and there's nothing there. He's like, I knew it was there. Oh, he starts Orphism.
Amazing snipe. And now with these blinks, it's just going to be that much harder for Patience there. He does have a couple of sentries, so, force fields aren't going to be too useful because of the blink, but Guardian Shell or Guardian Shield always is.
Exactly. I'm sure Patience was looking to try and catch the army off guard with those force fields, but because blink is available, like the force fields are basically useless, just forcing a couple of blinks. And Zoun, he's looking to try and press this advantage, as we do see that reinforcing gateway being thrown down across the map, so we can continue to apply pressure.
Oh yeah, he knows that, again, he knows that he needs to get something done, and Patience, he's like maybe there's a trademark by Demi, but he is like a shark. Once he realizes a stalker is low, I can potentially take out a stalker and make this fight easy, make the eventual engagement easier for me. He just goes straight for it, but it might be a little too late.
It may be, as the War Prism is being zoned out, all these units are going to be going down for Patience, all the sentries, all the stalkers, and Patience is forced back.
Yeah, and it looks like they have equal army supply, but don't be fooled. A lot of that army supply for Patience is in that War Prism, and that can't fight back. It's alive. But it does force a lot of field battery energy.
Exactly, and Overcharge is available if he decides to use it. Meanwhile, the shield battery does get focused down. There is a single immortal here, but it's so vulnerable. It's all in its own. It's prone to being blinked on top of.
Patience? Almost, what's a blink equivalent of an immortal just running into the opponent's army?
I don't know, but we see Patience do it time and time again, and Zoun, he tried to jump on top of the immortal.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it, but he did wait for battery overcharge to finish up, and yeah, now he's just trying to snipe off these shield batteries. That's gonna kill him. One of them takes out another immortal. We do see another immortal from Patience here take its place, but that's a decently expensive loss. But all things considered, like Patience, he's held. he's not. He's in a little bit of a worse economic position, but the important thing is he's held. He's gotten himself back in this game. He's got an opportunity. He's got the Warp Prism and a couple of Immortals, which is much more than you could say for Zoun.
I would say that what's important about this situation is that Zoun isn't all in. He's not looking to end the game. He has a third base on the way. He has probed up heavily behind this. Like, he is looking to just trade as best as he can, contain his opponent, and like, look at how low health this War Prism is. Like, if Patience, to be fair, I wouldn't put it past him. If he goes across the map with 2 Immortals in that War Prism, he's just insane, and he could lose everything.
He's gonna do it, isn't he?
he's gonna do it.
I can see it so clearly. Like, he's gonna do it.
We can see the wheels turning in Patience's head right now. He's like, oh, he's containing me. I'm gonna go for it.
I need to get some counter harass. How do I get counter harass? By dropping, that's how. Where do I want to drop? Right in the heart of my opponent.
Exactly. I thought he was going for it. We do see the War Prism. It is here with the Immortals, with the Stalkers, and Zoun actually completely bypassing the army, looking to maybe sneak into the natural.
Yeah, going where Patience isn't in position. Well, but this is actually a pretty good natural concave. Zoun realizes it and blinks back.
Yeah, he does pick off 1 Stalker, nicely done, and he does, delay the gateway being taken out here from Patience, but he is pushing out across the map now. He does have 3 Immortals. 3 Immortals, that's a terrifying army. That's an amazing backbone. Meanwhile, we do have a Robo for Zoun. No Immortals though, no Robo units quite yet, just gateway units, as well as all of this stack defense, and we'll see if Zoun was a little bit too greedy, because again, he's on 3 bases, he's fully saturated, he just needs to hold, and then he'll be in an amazing position.
Well, if we look at the army supplies, once again, it's a bit of a deceptive tale. They look even, and in fact, Zoun is favored here, but Patience, he's got Immortals. Zoun does not.
Exactly.
So, amazing link forward by Zoun there, and that is the start. That's absolutely the start of Zoun's defense.
Exactly. We were talking about it. You were talking about how much Patience loves the War Prism, but a lot of that is because he keeps making them, he keeps losing them, they keep getting sniped, and Zoun, he's just on top of it. And after losing that War Prism, Patience, he's kind of forced back home.
Fish out of water.
Oh god.
Doesn't even have recall available to him, or is that still on cooldown?
Oh god.
Doesn't matter, because this army of Zoun is looking to concave.
Oh my god, but
Dark Shrine and DTs are definitely helping out a lot.
There's no vision.
Observer here.
Yeah, there's no observer, so Zoun, he actually can't fight the DT, so even if he kills everything there is to kill here, all the Immortals and all of the War Prisms, like, the DTs are reigning supreme.
Take it out again!
He gets it again!
Patience, he gets ragged on a lot because of his blink forwards. I feel like we need to update that to Patience getting ragged on because of his Warp Prism control.
Exactly. He just keeps sending his like Warp Prism attack, go, and it just.
We're gonna have to keep a counter. How many times does Patience lose a Warp Prism?
Oh my god, he's lost 3 this game, and I believe he lost 4 versus Gyozing. Like, oh my god.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of War Prisms. We need a counter for Patience, and here we go. The static defense, the detection is on the way for Zoun. Now the DTs aren't going to be an issue at all, and yeah, like Patience, he's just stuck in a really hard position. He realizes that the DT's time is up. He has some Archons instead, which is nice, but we'll see how he does.
It's definitely what you want against these chargelets, but
yeah.
How well do they fare against Blinkstalkers? Not too well, evidently.
Yeah, not too well.
3 shots to take out that Archon?
Yeah, 1 Archon already going down. Only 2 remaining here. We have some sentries, 4 force fields. Not really ideal against Archons, but there's just so many Stalkers.
And there are getting a pretty good concave here, and I can imagine Patience holding this back, but yeah, there we go. GG's called. I was going to say, he wouldn't really have a follow-up after that. And I think he realized that, as now we are sideways 1-1. Zoun, really showing that us hyping him up earlier on wasn't for nothing. Oh
yeah, yeah. And even then, like, Zoun, he ties up the series, but again, like, this could have been a 2-0. Like, Zoun was looking so good in game number 1 as well. Yeah, just really, really showing us why we kind of know him as like that PvP, or like that an adept player at PvP. We'll see if he can keep it up here, as we are going to be.
Doesn't even always go for adepts.
Exactly. Not always. Not always. Patience, please. Oh god, I don't know if you remember this, but when Stats had a Twitch channel, it was kind of a meme, and I believe it was an emote as well. The Stats probe, like F's in the chat, because Stats he just kept losing probes.
Well, it originated back in the Brute War days, but it still happened.
Oh yeah, it was
StarCraft 2.
It was very prominent in StarCraft 2, and it became a meme. I feel like we got to do the same thing for Patience and his Warp Prisms.
Warp Prisms. This Patient Prism, TM. Alrighty then. Speaking of which, we are now going to be on Ice and Chrome. LE. LE standing for Leaf? Leaf? Sure, let's go with Leaf. Energy. Leaf energy. That's when you're like, you're a koala and you eat your leaves for sustenance. You know, that's when you're a Brave Star, no, not Brave Star, sorry, Courageous Sun Gaming mascot.
Oh, it should have been Courageous Sun Esports.
No, it should have been Courageous Sun E-Gaming.
There you go.
And yeah, do with that what you will. In the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner map, the red Protoss player going to be representing Alpha X, coming down from Atlantic Korea, getting his probes pulled away for a sec. Really paranoid about a gas seal, but that's what dealt with. We have Zoun.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, the madman himself, representing Team LP. It is Patience. And Zoun, he's on match point. He just needs one more win, and he's a champion.
No, he's not.
He's not? Oh, no, he's not. Yeah, sorry, we're tied up, yeah? 1-1?
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I was getting ahead of myself. Yeah, going into this game.
Well, I mean, that's just because he had such an impressive game number one. Man.
Right.
You know, honestly, if you did see the last maybe minute and a half of game number one,
yeah,
you would have called it for Zoun.
Exactly. I had confused myself and
you would have been super sure, yeah. You would have been super sure, and I wouldn't have blamed you there. But all it takes is one Purification Nova sometimes.
Yeah, just one, the great equalizer as it is known, and we'll see how this game transpires here. We've seen Zoun with his Stargate openers, we've seen him with Robo openers as well, fast Twilight Council into Blink. Yeah, he just has it all.
Yeah, is there anything he cannot do? And yeah, I guess there's a reason why his PvP is up there. I will never get over the exploding, what do they call it? Ihanri building site?
Yeah, Ihanda. And honestly, like, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that it hasn't been patched out. Like, god damn it. I guess
I believe it's intentional by the design team.
At this point, it has to be, or at least, you know, it's unintentional, but they just left it.
I still want to see somebody making 100 pylons and then canceling them all at the same time just to crash your computer.
Just to make them like crash the computer. That's it. Oh my god, we're gonna set up a 4v4, right? All Protosses. We're all gonna just. Oh boy.
Man, oh man. So a question coming in here from Starduck. Are you guys only casting PvP? How long have you been watching Light and Night cast? That has been our duty. That's the word I'm gonna use. That's been our duty for the past year or so.
Yeah, Starduck, you didn't even know every single ESL Open Cup Asia has been dominated by Protoss players. PvP is the name of the game. If you look at our YouTube channel, I'm sure there's plenty. That's probably like 50% of what's on the YouTube, just PvP.
Someone's gotta do it.
It's us. It's us. There were even moments. There was that week where I saw where we could have gone and where we could go for just pure PvP, and we went for it just for the meme, and it almost killed Yaku.
Like, it almost killed me, but in the end, we got Dark versus SOS.
We did. It was worth it in the end. And here we do have quite a lot of adepts coming in, but there is a full wall.
There is a full wall. And yeah, these Adepts of Patience not going to be getting that that probe damage that I really want to do. And I think the more interesting point for this game of how it's opened up is Zoun really rushing that Dark Shrine and actually going to be able to take out this Nexus.
Commit, do it, do it.
Commit to it. He takes out the Nexus Light. He does not care that these Stalkers are going to go down. And you know why, Light? I'll tell you why. That's a DT on the production tab.
That's a DT. We had a Dark Shrine on the way being thrown down for Zoun. He kills the Nexus. He only had 4 Stalkers. Patience, he totally could have dealt with it, but he committed to going across the map with his Adepts, and he achieved absolutely nothing with it. And now with DTs, like, there's no detection here. If the DTs are used defensively, he should be fine, but they're across the map instead. They are looking to deny the Nexus once again.
Exactly, and I gotta be honest, I think Zoun does need a couple of defensive DTs out here, as Patience doesn't have. You know, Patience, oh, he does have one, and Patience, he's got to make a choice. Where does he send his Observer? Yeah, where will the Observer go? I mean, if he commits to the Shade, which he does, the DT is definitely going to come into play here defensively. That it will, and yeah, Patience, unfortunately, not really fighting with all of his army there. A little bit indecisive, and yeah, only allowing the Adepts to die and kill 3 probes. That's not entirely ideal, but you know, if you just look at the army supply and you go into the units tab, Patience is definitely favored. I mean, Zoun, he's got a couple of DTs, but that's not going to do too much against that many Immortals. Exactly. That's Observers come into play. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like Patience, we've seen he is prone to go for this mass Immortal play, but with good enough Blink Stalkers, which is on the way for Zoun, like you can just dive on top of them, especially when there's not enough to buffer for them. So we'll see, as once again we see Zoun being incredibly aggressive. He's throwing down that reinforcing gateway, looking to continue to warp in across the map. And Patience, like again, he doesn't really have too much here. Like these Immortals are looking so vulnerable. They really are, and the most important part here, I think, is that they are starting to trickle in. Really good use of the force fields just before Zoun finishes Blink. So, one of the more, I don't know how to put it. One of the more things that can really swing this early in a PvP really is just the ability to pick off units here and there. Or I guess for Protoss in general, if you're able to pick off a unit here and there, whether it be an Immortal or a Siege Tank or a Ravager, that's just going to have a knock-on effect. Eventually, when you get to the big main army engagement, it's just going to be better and better for you. So we do see both players being a bit active on the map, you know, just trying to shave off whatever they can from their opponent's army. Yeah, and I'm just a little bit concerned because, again, Patience, he's on the offensive. He has 2 Immortals with his main army, a War Prism as well. And what does Zoun have? He just has Stalkers at the moment and a single Archon. Which there's a shot, you know, Zoun, he can do stuff with this, but I wouldn't really call it effective stuff that he can do. Yeah, he does have a War Prism, a Shield Battery defensively as well, so that will come into play. I'm sure Overcharge will be used, and here we go, the main engagement is happening. Yeah, I really like the idea of these Glaive Adepts as well, just to you know, really deal well against pulling the boys for defense, or even if they target down this Archon, it's not going to take too much to kill it. Yeah, definitely. And a nice target fire. The shield overcharges, keeping that Archon alive, keeping the defense strong, and the War Prism goes down. And the Immortal. The War Prism goes down, the Immortal goes down. The Archon really making use of that smash damage. He Adepts of Godlight. It is 1 Immortal and 2 Stalkers. How did he hold that? I'll tell you the answer to that, He went, you know, are we sure to rip Protoss' patience? Because he waited right until the end before using his battery overcharge, and that was a perfect move for it. He did lose a lot of workers for it. Yeah. But that's pretty easily retaken, considering the fact that he's not that far behind. Exactly, and I don't know if you noticed, but it was so important. He was actually target firing with his overcharge, keeping that Archon alive. That Archon was so close to going down, barely had any shields left, but the overcharge was keeping it alive, tanking so much damage, dealing so much AoE damage to the Adepts. And with that, Zoun, he holds, once again, sniping that War Prism. It's what he's known for, is what Patience is also known for, losing the War Prism. And yeah, now we're kind of even. Look at the workers, like we're even on workers. Wow. I expect Zoun to get his Shield membership card and briefing in the mail tomorrow morning. I feel like with what we just saw, 100% he's joining Shield. He's a part of that
that elite, if you will, with stats and probe and so many others. And
I feel like I might go beyond stats.
oh my god. That was amazing. That was beautiful. And with that,
amazing.
Yeah, like 3 adepts go in and they take 3 probes and they go out. Zoun currently ahead in the worker count. I'm just a little bit concerned about the army again. Like, to be fair, finally, the Robo is done for Zoun. He is making the Immortals. He's going to be catching up. And with that, he will have an equivalent army to that of Patience.
Yeah, eventually he will. Patience is
eventually.
already moving out, though. And I'm getting really worried for Zoun right now, I got to tell you. Like, he's being active on the map and with these stalkers, and all I'm seeing is an opportunity for Patience to exploit that. You know, take out the stalkers and just have an easier fight later on.
Ooh, and Blink is done for Patience, so now we are equivalent with these stalkers. We do have some high ground here, but Zoun, he's going for this 3rd base, and that's where he's like invested his money, his economy. We'll see if he's able to hold here.
Yeah, Charity Force Fields here, Zoun.
Yeah, and this makes a lot of sense for Patience. Again, this is a really narrow choke point, so immediately targets down those rocks, looking to make sure that more force fields are required to cut this army in half.
And Zoun actually just kind of going for it. Good use of force field still, traps a lot of units, but so does Patience. What am I looking at right now, Light? I feel like I'm looking at bubble wrap.
We're looking at Immortal derping out. We have, oh my god, the Immortals for Zoun though, they get picked off, and it's now just Stalkers and Sentries at the same time that were Adepts in the natural of Zoun, but they did get taken out, so now he can focus everything he can here at the front. And
hello? Warp Prism?
Warp Prism? Oh.
Alright. Patience keeping this alive, but I think one of the things to keep in note this time, Light, is that with the start base and with the production in line, you know, for most of this game, the story has been Patience, better army, Zoun, better economy. Zoun has now caught up in terms of the army and still has that economic lead.
He's got sniped.
Warp Prism! They got sniped! Again! What's the 10th time? The 9th time?
Oh my god, at least the 10th time today. We now have all Patience with the aggressive Blink, and he depowers all the shield batteries.
And this looks like it might be just enough of Patience. The Immortal's starting to get targeted down, but there's still a very healthy Stalker count for Patience. And I think this is the beginning of the end. Zoun, he focused a bit too much on those Immortals, but the shield batteries are now repowered. There are a couple of overcharges there. But Patience, still with 3 times the army supply.
Exactly, like Patience, he just has nothing but Stalkers, but because of the Defender's advantage, it's possible that that Zoun can bring this back. He's trying to warp in as best he can, but the reinforcements come in again. He targets down, and
there we have it. GG, Patience on match point. And once again, just another amazing display by both of our players here.
Oh my god, what a PvP. Patience takes the game, but to be honest, Zoun, he was so close to holding. Again, part of me feels like maybe Zoun was being a little bit too greedy going for that 3rd base. Like Patience, he was stuck on 2 bases. Like he was committed to his aggression. But at the same time, Zoun was also really close to holding as well. Like, oh god, like if those 3 shield batteries weren't depowered in the first place, I think Zoun could have held. It's just everything got depowered.
Absolutely. I think from there, everything just started going wrong for Zoun. You know, it got depowered, which was really bad, but then Zoun may have panicked a little bit, may have just thought, I need to deal with these Immortals, but he didn't quite have the Stalker count to deal with them or to one-shot them. In fact, I believe that one of the Immortals there actually had Guardian Shell while Zoun was still targeting them.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it was, yeah.
He just focused way too much time on units that wouldn't die.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the rest of Patience units just cleaned house.
Oh boy, what a game, what a series.
Boy, oh boy, what a series. And it's a shame that it may potentially end here. Let's hope for an ace match. On Pillars of Gold, LE, holding up the Golden Wall, LE, protecting the Eternal Empire, LE, of which the LE submarines are hidden. In the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner map, we have the red Protoss player. I'm going to be representing Alpha X. And coming down from the land of South Korea, he is looking in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna have to win this one more game in order to keep his tournament life on the line and, yeah, achieve his first ever, or potentially achieve his first ever ESL Open Cup Asia Championship. Can he do it? We'll find out. It's Zoun.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss player. He is representing Team LP, and he only requires one more game to win the entire tournament tonight. Can he do it? Can he close it out? We have Patience.
And you know what, like, we haven't seen a proxy for Patience yet this series.
We haven't.
Yes, water pylon. See what? Really? What? SL kisses here being exchanged.
Zoun backs off. And
couldn't do it. But Patience, he wants his, that probe. He wants his kisses.
he wants it. He wants the probe, but Zoun, he's had enough. He's had enough. He's gonna be oh.
Yeah, he said enough. And so is Patience.
Yeah, and it looks like we may have a little bit of lag going on, question mark, or maybe some Uber Eats showed up at home. I'm not too sure.
No, he's on the ladder.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, right.
And you're right, like surprisingly, there's been no proxies from Patience. He's just been playing this, I don't know if I want to say straight up, but he's just been playing it like pretty aggressive, but nothing really out on the map.
Yeah, he's pretty confident. He is not relying on just denying the scouting information. He's not relying too much on that element of surprise. I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of that when you're playing as aggressively as Patience was, especially in that Everdream game, but he knows that he can just build towards that that composition and that strategy, and if Zoun is able to scout that, then good for him, but otherwise Patience is going to be confident. But now he's hurt. He's hurt. This is Zoun looking straight into the camera right now, looking right at me, saying, "Heard you were talking shit."
Exactly. Patience, he asked for that pause so he could catch up on the stream delay, and there it is. He's going for that proxy robo, and he will be going up against the regular Stargate opening for Zoun. And the thing is, like, now
like it's been so long since we've seen that in a PvP. Like,
I know we used to see this all the time. Specifically, we used to see proxy versus proxy, but this is close enough.
This is home.
This is home. We are home.
All of those other builds in PvP, Clown Fiesta, family gatherings. This is actual home.
Exactly. And we already see the Chrono Boost coming out. We're gonna be seeing, I imagine, it more.
Patience. He's not supply blocked. Okay. He was waiting for his waiting for the minerals. I don't think he quite had the count there.
Yeah, okay, but he does start that War Prism, and we'll see. Again, this has gone unscouted so far by Zoun, and Patience, he has the breathing room to do this. Like, he's ahead in the series. He only needs one more win, so he's feeling confident enough to go for something a little bit more cheeky.
Yeah, and I mean, cheeky or not, it can still be very effective. And speaking of effective, Zoun once again going for that Oracle across the map. We've seen just how hard he punished Patience with that Oracle in the previous couple of games. Can he do it again, or do you think Patience, has learned his lesson?
We'll see. I mean, there's nothing. Oh, never mind.
Battery now.
That's true. Battery's all you need, but
it's still useful. Patience. Okay, good. He was able to get the DPS in time.
Just able to.
That
was so close.
It was so insanely close. But you know what? Like, what if he always said, "Patience is the man without fear."
Exactly. No fear whatsoever. And the army actually gets surrounded, and Patience, no!
And who gets War Prisms?
Oh, God.
Patience.
Yeah, thankfully Patience only loses some shields there. No hull damage. But he actually gets pushed away all the way back home. Wow.
Yeah. I have to just imagine that every time Patience loses a War Prism, he gets another one and calls it War Prism 2, War Prism 3.
Oh god,
He's just like the Pirates in Asterix.
it's a pretty interesting opener so far because Patience, despite going for that proxy, he was forced all the way home. He hasn't made anything else from that proxy, no immortal whatsoever, but well, it looks like he came back home for this. It's a full wall off, I just realized, so he needed the Warp Prism to get the army out on the other side of the map.
That's unfortunate, but it does. But that's just about all the army that he needs on this side, on the other side of the map.
Uh-oh.
As now with the Warp Prism out, he does have a warping point elsewhere.
Yeah.
He's got the Robo Bay outside of that wall. You know, it's proxied again, so I don't think that he's gonna go for Immortals anytime soon. But yeah, if he does, then
yeah, I'm just incredibly worried because there was no vision in the center of the map. So Patience, he's already made it here, and Zoun has no idea whatsoever. He has his adepts now finally outside the natural, but he completely missed the move out, and now more and more stalkers are being morphed in. And oh, he has the sentries in the Warp Prism. He can go for the.
Ooh, that's gonna be so tricky, and the Stalkers actually moving away from this base. Okay, those were Patience's Blink Stalkers. I got worried for a second.
Yeah, same.
I got very worried.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's starting to look rough.
Exactly. Immediately, one of the sentries gets focused down by the Oracle, and it looks like Zoun may have enough here. He's forced to pull a couple of boys to hold.
I think he's gonna hold, but how many workers is he gonna lose here? I mean, 6 is gonna be answer.
Yeah, 6 workers go down. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have the Adepts. Oh, they shade in. They got in.
They put their way in, yeah. I believe they took out a pylon or 2.
Yeah, somehow they will.
Havoc in this mineral line.
Oh, yeah, the stasis ward.
Nice.
Wow.
One of those stalkers. One of those stalkers just jiggling, panicking.
He's in the air.
In the air, like, oh no, I'm stuck in stasis and I'm in midair. If I fall, it's gonna hurt. It didn't hurt that much. It didn't Jimmy the soccer.
But it was so important that he got that worker damage done. Look at the worker count. Patience, he's down to 18 workers. And let's just hope that, again, Zoun isn't too greedy. That feels like the name of the game. At the moment, he's well positioned. He has shield batteries in his main base and in his natural as well.
Well, I feel like Zoun Zoun doesn't. It shouldn't be too greedy, but I feel like he doesn't need to right now. Patience is all in.
Oh yeah, he's 100% all in right now, and we'll see what Patience can do here. He has been focusing on nothing but unit production at the moment, and that's what I mean. Hopefully Zoun, he realizes this, as he does have a Robo on the way. He has a Forge as well, throwing down more shield batteries.
How many shield batteries are up here in this main base? Because that feels like a lot. Oh, Guardian Shield saving that Warp Prism there. Yeah, now there's 0, and this looks like too much army from Patience. Continuing to warp in more and more. Zoun's army and unit supply just dwindling. Patience! It looks like we're gonna have a new champion here, like.
Exactly, there's just too much here from Patience. Zoun, caught being a little bit too greedy, not focusing on his army, and now there are only a handful of stalkers here. I mean, he's doing his best to hold on. He has the Robo, but there's no Immortal on the way. There's nothing else on the way for Zoun.
Now, to be fair, the Warp Prism did get sniped again.
It did.
But there's still a lot of army that, you know, Zoun, his production's been depowered. He cannot produce a single army unit. This is a pretty good position to fight in, especially with the body blocking on the probes. But yeah, now Patience just blinks away, and Zoun is going to be chasing that.
Honestly, he may have held. Oh my god, with Patience, he blinks on forward. There are 3 shield batteries here, though, to keep everything alive, but there's enough stalkers to almost one-shot. He's forced to focus on the shield batteries instead, and the problem is that the production is depowered. He only has 1 active gateway, only 1 warping at a time.
That he does, and honestly, you know, you can rag on Patience for his blink micro a lot. You know, he's been known to kind of muffle that before in the past, but when he's really concentrating, he really gets good pickoffs with his stalkers.
But just like that, the army supply of Patience was cut in half. Half of it is in stasis right now, and this is the chance that Zoun needs to catch up in that army supply.
Yeah, I mean, even still, yeah, the gateways have been repowered. He can afford to produce a lot more. His bank, though, is really lacking, and his income is better than Zoun's, but that doesn't say too much when, you know, he's still forced to not only get more units, but also more infrastructure, more buildings, more workers.
Yeah, and the problem is that Patience, he has enough stalkers to one-shot the stalkers, and there it is!
And there we have it, our brand new ESL Open Cup Asia champion, number 33. It's a new champion. It is somebody who, in my eyes, has deserved at least one for a while. And yeah, I'm really glad that he managed to make it here. It is gonna be from Jeju Island, but now residing in Seoul, Patience.
GG, well played. Patience takes the entire series, takes his first tournament as well. And oh my god, what a PvP that was. It was
a gem of a PvP.
It was beautiful.
It really walked that fine line of madness and sanity. Like, you know, there were a lot of unorthodox things going on there. You know, a couple of times where some insane moments, some really questionable decisions from both players, but at least you could kind of understand them, right? And that's what good PvP should be.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should be. And oh my god, that was just so well played. Yeah.
I think we were shown that in the past, but yeah, it's been a while.
Definitely. And Zoun, like, he put up such a good fight. Like, there were so many moments where he almost held. It was just that thing that was kind of prominent throughout the entire series, is that Patience, at some point, he would just cut worker production, and even though he was down in workers, like, he was just so aggressive, and Zoun was maybe a little bit too greedy. Again, like, he only had 3 gateways for the majority of that fight. Towards the end, 2 of the gateways were depowered, so he just couldn't warp in enough units at all. He couldn't utilize that economy that he had, and yeah, Patience just took full advantage of that. And what a game.
Yeah, what a game. And I got a little wager for you, Light. Shall we guess how many warp prisms Patience has lost in this broadcast? I'm gonna say 11.
I'm gonna say 12.
All right.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to.
I'm not gonna go through the. I'm not gonna go through the font to figure it out. I'll get Vortex Slam to do that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at least 9 were taken out.
At least 9, yeah. Yeah. Maybe about 10.
Maybe.
But I'm still gonna stick with 11.
I mean, you know what? People in the chat can also take their guesses. How many warp prisms did Patience lose today? Oh boy. Regardless, like, well played. Patience clearly didn't need those warp prisms. He did well without them. And yeah, he won the entire thing. His first tournament. Congratulations. And also congratulations, Zoun. It's the furthest he's ever gone before, like getting all the way to 2nd place.
And hopefully this is a sign for things to come, especially when especially in GSL.
Oh yeah, definitely. A reminder, right? Like, both these players, they're in GSL. You know,
now.
Yeah, they're going to be featured there over on YouTube, as they are streamed on YouTube. GSL is. And yeah, just I can't wait. I just love seeing these 2 players. I love seeing Zoun in PvP as well. Like, he can take it to the best of them. As we saw, he almost did. And oh boy.
Lord, oh Lord. And I think we're going to do the outro soon, but before we do that, I have some very good news, Light.
Go for it.
We may have thought about him, but we did not mention Rain.
Oh, you're right.
First for us. I think this is a first for us.
That's a first.
It only took both of our brains being scrambled, but yeah.
Oh no, we messed up.
Who would have thought that it would only take our brains being scrambled to not fanboy over Rain?
You know what it was? I'll be honest. Like, we always talk about Rain in these tournaments, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we typically cast Zest, Stats, or Trap. Because
they have a history with Rain.
Yeah, they have a history, and their play styles, they can come back to Rain. I don't think we can tie Patience in any way to Rain whatsoever.
I don't think we can tie Patience in any way to anyone.
Yeah, he's his own entity. He's his own being.
He's fearless.
And with that, as you were saying, that is it for us for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this week's ESL Open Cup Asia. We are here every single week live with this tournament, and yeah, like, what a tournament it was. We may not have had the big heavy hitters like Zest, like Stats, like Trap, but regardless, like, we had some incredible games today.
Yeah, I've got to say, that was one of the more enjoyable finals in one of the ESL Open Cup Asias, and you know, we've had a lot of really good finals here. Yeah,
we definitely have. So yeah, it just goes to show, like, these guys, these players, they can just definitely put on a show. They can be incredibly entertaining to cast.
I'm talking about a PvP here.
Yeah, boy. And with that, Yaku, why don't you tell the people more about you?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I'm probably not going to be streaming this week as, it's first week of term, so
Mhm.
wanna, what's it called? Get used to that. But, maybe sometime soon. I'm trying to get to that road to affiliate as I'm close, light. I'm pretty close.
Nice.
But that'll be at some other point in that Telecom at Empora Yakuzaku. You can buy my exclamation mark Discord in the chat. You can see you find myself as well as the other members of CranKy Ducklings. Other than that, buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I will be live tomorrow, as tomorrow is the first day off of casting I'm going to be having in 11 days. It's going to be great. And you know what I'm going to spend that day doing?
Making overlays.
Working on all the VODs. Working on
nails.
Exactly, working on all the VODs from all the DreamHack qualifiers that we casted. So if you're interested in some behind the scenes stuff, working on thumbnails, scheduling Twitter posts or Facebook and all that stuff, if you're interested in video editing, then I will be streaming tomorrow, working on that. I have a lot to catch up on. We casted so much in the past 11 days. Half of it's already done, so I just have the later half to do, and oh boy, it's quite a bit. But yeah, Light_VIP on Twitter as well. On social media, you can follow me there. When we go live, I typically tweet or retweet. But more importantly, follow this channel here, CranKy Ducklings. We're live almost every single day. We've been live 11 days in a row covering DreamHack. If you're interested in any of that, check out our VODs here on Twitch or check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah, but it will be uploaded pretty soon.
When I say pretty soon, I mean probably in 2 weeks. But you know what? We have plenty there. Like, if you're interested in our casting, we have a lot of duos. Some people were here this morning where Yodasim and I were casting. I also cast here with Yaku. Quirky cast as well. Steel Mold, sometimes Dally. Jet casted MSO, SDO. Yeah, we've got a pretty solid team of ducks here. And we try and bring you as much StarCraft as we can.
Yeah.
And with that,
yeah, we do. With that, I am gonna have a breakdown, cry, and attempt math. Not necessarily in that order, but
nice.
It's gonna be somewhere in there.
I am gonna go and have my first real meal of the day because I just I am starving. I didn't have breakfast before Latin America, and I didn't have dinner before this, and I just need some sustenance before I pass out. But thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We stay tuned as we will be raiding another StarCraft 2 channel, so stick around to support who it is we raid, give them some love, and with that, we will see you in 2 days with... We have in 2 days. Desafiantes.
Yeah. The other Latin America 2v2. No, it's not 2v2, is it?
No, it is Code A for Latin America.
Yeah.
We'll be featuring the players who did not qualify for DreamHack. So yeah, if you are interested in the Latin American scene, we'll be live with that. And thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys some other time.
Ciao.
Bella.